What's going on, guys and gals? Your main man, Pete here. Back in town, back in business, and today I'm talking about abs. Core! How to get a ripped core fast. The best case scenario. This year, 2019, was all about core for me. In that last year, I lacked core, ultimately. And 2019, I set a goal for myself. And that goal was to not only define my core so that I could see all those striations, details, definition, but also build thicker, stronger abs that can accentuate my performance ultimately. Accentuate weightlifting and accentuate martial arts. I am happy to report that 7 months later, I've accomplished my goals with flying colors. And I'm so confident in the tips and workouts I'm going to provide to you that I guarantee results. If you do what I say, I guarantee results. But this journey isn't going to be easy. It takes a lot of work. In fact, I find that when it comes to core, you have to train abs, core, at least 3 to 4 days per week. In that, you're utilizing your core throughout the entire day. When you're moving, when you're carrying groceries, believe it or not, your core controls your entire body. When you're walking, you're utilizing your core. So it takes a lot to break down your core. The same applies to your calves. Think about it. You're walking all day. So you're utilizing your calves throughout the entire day. So the muscles that you utilize the most outside of the gym are the hardest to build inside of the gym because they're desensitized, if you know what I mean. So I want you to understand something first and foremost. If you want to build shredded abs, a stronger core, you have to accept that this takes time. And that's why I had mentioned previously, it took me 7 months to accomplish my goal. And in order to accomplish this goal efficiently and effectively, you have to take your time. In that, throughout the process, you're going to be building muscle, breaking down muscle, and losing body fat. It takes a lot of effort and time. Now, how do you build muscle and lose fat? That's the first thing I want to discuss. How do you build a muscle while losing body fat? It's actually quite simple. First and foremost, you have to have your macronutrients on point. Now, I'm not going to discuss how to determine your macronutrients according to your body weight, height, age, all that good stuff. You guys can find that out for yourself on other videos. In fact, I uploaded a video years ago that specifically shows you how to find out exactly how many calories you need per day to gain weight and lose weight. So if you guys want to check out that video, I'll leave the link in the description below. Now, once you've determined how many macronutrients you need per day to gain weight, you basically want to consume a few hundred calories more than you require. But the secret is to do that sporadically throughout the day. You don't want to consume huge meals because your body can only utilize and break down so much of that meal. And then what happens is it basically starts storing a lot of the excess calories it can't utilize as fat, which is why people that are competing in bodybuilding, they eat 6, 7, 8 meals per day. And they spread those meals out so that your body's constantly getting what it needs. And in the process, you're also boosting your metabolism because when your body's digesting food, synthesizing protein, it's also burning calories, believe it or not. It actually takes energy to do all that. And you're boosting your metabolism every single time you eat. So the more meals you can get in throughout the entire day, the more your metabolism is going to boost. And in the process, you're actually going to lose weight. It's actually very, very effective. So that's tip number 1. Determine your macronutrients. Once you understand how much you need, I want you to spread your meals out throughout the day. And that's, now that we have your diet established and figured out, let's talk core, because that's what this video is all about, how to get shredded abs. Okay, so in order to build abs, I find it's so important to annihilate core at least 3 to 4 days per week. So if you lift 3 to 4 days per week, that means you have to actually hit core every single workout. And that's what I did. I usually lift 3 to 4 days per week, in that I also do martial arts, jogging, and a lot of other different things not related to weightlifting. So I usually only lift weights 3 to 4 days per week. So I was hitting abs at the end of every single workout, no matter what. And I'm not just talking about a dilly-dally workout. Don't end with a few hundred sit-ups. End with weighted core movements. And at the end of this video, I'm going to provide the best possible core workouts that you can do to build abs fast. And the proof is in the pudding. I want you to check this clip out. This is a clip of my abs currently. Seven months of progress. And keep in mind, 7 months ago, I had absolutely no core. Well, I had core, but it wasn't nearly as defined. My abs weren't nearly as thick, and you couldn't see them because I had fat covering them. And that's another thing I want to discuss. The reason why I want you to split your meals up and boost your metabolism and burn fat while building muscle is because if you want your abs to show, you have to burn body fat fast. You have to constantly and continuously burn body fat, because most of the time people never see the abs that they have, and they think they don't have abs because they hold a lot of body fat in their waist. And believe it or not, for most men specifically, men primarily hold body fat around their waist and their lower back. And typically around your waist and lower back is the last place your body wants to burn fat. You ever notice how your legs get really leaned and shredded first? And then your arms, and then your chest, and then your back, but your waist always seems to have body fat? Well, that's because your waist stores body fat. And the last place your body wants to burn fat, for some odd reason, according to our genetics, is lower waist and lower back. So you have to prolong this ritual. This can't just be, I'm going to cut for a few weeks, or I'm going to bulk for a few weeks, or I'm going to try to build abs for a few weeks. This has to be, I'm setting a goal for myself, just like I did. I'm going to give myself 5 to 7 months. I'm going to follow this structured routine. I'm going to train abs 3 to 4 days per week, no matter what. I'm going to keep my diet clean, and I'm going to accomplish my goal. And if you set these goals for yourself and these standards, and you integrate all these tactics into your routine, and you understand that this takes time because you're going to be burning a little bit of body fat each day, and over the course of 6 to 7 months, eventually you burned all the body fat you have. So your body fat percentage is very low, and those abs start to show. And then once they start to show just a little bit, prepare yourself, because that's when you get motivated. That's when you want to continue this progress, continue this process until those abs and that core are completely shredded. Best case scenario. Okay, so when it comes to building abs, it takes more than sit-ups. Most people think, okay, if I just do a couple hundred sit-ups every day, my abs are going to be popping. And that's just unrealistic. When you go to the gym and you want to build chest, do you do a few hundred push-ups and then hit the road? No. You do a variety of different workouts, or I hope you do at least. You do a variety of different workouts, movements with weights, because you need to break it down in order to rebuild it. And that's the kicker. You have to find workouts and movements of which you can add weights and you find that isolation, that sweet spot, a few movements that really affect your core and benefit you. And when you find that those workouts and movements actually make your core soar and benefit you, you need to keep doing that. You need to keep bumping up the weight, just like you would on bench press or incline bench or dumbbell press or any movement you would do for chest. Or when it comes to back, lat pull downs, deadlifts, sumo deadlifts, T-bar row. Or when it comes to legs, leg press, squat, sumo deadlifts. Any movements that requires a lot of effort, a bit of weight, is going to break down that muscle, especially if you specifically target it, which is why I mentioned isolation previously. You want to isolate that muscle as much as you possibly can. And at the end of this video, like I had mentioned previously, stick around. I'm going to provide the best core workouts, at least the best for me, that enabled me to make a substantial amount of growth and gains within the last 7 months. And my core completely transformed. And I sincerely mean that. My core, I'll be the first one to admit it was lacking 7 months ago. And I just felt like my core needed work, which is why I set the standard for myself. I set this goal, I lived my life to a few standards, and I needed to accomplish this goal for my own well-being, my own mentality, for my own fitness journey ultimately, for balance. As a martial artist, core is extremely important. The more powerful your core, the more powerful your centrifugal force, the more powerful your jabs, your kicks, your athleticism. Core is life. And I'm going to tell you something. Since going on this journey the last 7 months and completely focusing on my core, my martial arts, my movement has never, ever been better. I mean, I feel like an entirely different species as compared to how I felt last year. Truly. The more you develop and define your core, the more confident you're going to become, the more physically reliable you're going to become, and then all your other lifts start to skyrocket. I found that the better my abs got, the better my deadlift got, the better my squat got, the better my leg press got, the better my bench got. Everything revolves around your core. You use core a little bit when it comes to every workout. So if you could just boost your core just a little teeny bit every session, you're going to boost all your other movements as well. So it's a win-win. Best case scenario. Okay, guys, I've talked for too long. I tend to do that. I love rambling. And I'm trying to cut it down a little bit. I'm trying to cut back just a little bit. Keep these videos right around 10 minutes. And I think we're right around 13 right now. Apologies. So I want you to check out a few of these core workouts I'm going to provide right now. These are the best movements I've done this year. And if you perform them the same exact way I'm doing them in the video, I guarantee results. And I discussed weighted core training. Aside from performing weighted core movements, it's also very important to pump blood vasodilation, because then you're going to see your core more as you start to lean out. It's kind of like when you go to the gym and you hit back. You feel confident after you hit heavy weights. But then when you pump back up and you see all those veins and striations, you feel good because it looks good and you're seeing the results, you're seeing the gains, and it makes you want to keep performing more and more and more and more, and the gains just start piling on. The same applies to core. You're going to start heavy, like I always say, and you're going to end light. So the best case scenario would be start with some kind of weighted core movement. You can pick any of the ones I'm going to provide in the following clips. And then when you're done, I want you to perform standard movements you would do on a pad on the ground. You can even perform these at home before bed, in the morning, whenever. In fact, I just recently uploaded a clip that I think you guys and gals might really dig. Home boot camp core workout. I'll leave the link in the description. I think you might really dig it. Now you can perform that after you perform the heavy weights. Typically what I do is I'll perform 2 to 3 sets of something heavy, something that makes my core entirely work completely. My entire core, not just my abs, my torso, everything. And then when I'm done, I perform the body weight movements. Various movements such as sit-ups, toe touches. I mean, there's hundreds of different core workouts you can do on your back. The secret is to find the ones that benefit you the most, the ones that your body responds to the most. And that's one of the most important factors when it comes to building any muscle. You guys got to be mindful of how you feel. If you go to the gym and you perform 100 reps of something, you don't feel it 2 days afterwards, because delayed onset muscle soreness sets in, 24 to 48 hours after the workout. If you don't feel sore in any way, shape, or form, you didn't do it properly, or it's not affecting you. You just need to find movements that actually make you sore, that break your muscle down. Maybe that workout is effective. You're not performing enough reps. Maybe you're not performing enough weight. The secret is to find something that your body responds to and run with it, and keep performing it as much as you possibly can in different weights. More weight, more reps. That's the secret. Get creative and make sure that you take this process into consideration long term, because you're not going to make these gains substantially in 3 to 4 months. Building core and defining core is a little bit of both, dieting and bodybuilding. In order to do both, build muscle and lose body fat, it's a process and it takes time. So maybe set a goal for yourself for 2020. By the end of 2020, just like I did in 2019, build a ridiculous core and accept that you're going to be losing a little bit of body fat. So you might not be as strong. Granted, you could still make strength gains. I did. But you're not going to be making those dramatic strength gains when it comes to compounds like you were previously when you were overbulking, when you're adding more calories than you're going to when performing these workouts. Because when it comes to building core, you can't eat too many more calories than you require per day if you want to lose a bit of body fat and see the core as you're building the core. Like I said previously, you're only adding a few hundred calories on top of what you need per day, just a few hundred, and you're going to spread those meals out. Anyway, check out these workouts. I think you might really dig them. God bless. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Leave your comments below. I try to answer as many of them as I can, as fast as I possibly can. So talk to you soon. Be blessed and check out these core workouts.